Look at Wanda, ready to rock her big presentation. But first, lunch. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Delicious, celebratory, but is it quick? The Cobb salad. Tender oven-roasted chicken, topped with cheese. Prepared, plated, and served in 6 minutes? Is this for real? Well, of course. Well done, Wanda. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Yes, ma'am. Life is sweet.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
All smiles as we get into this Saturday forecast because it's a much calmer pattern than what we were tracking even 24 hours ago. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, in for our meteorologist Caleb Edelblut, and I'm glad I am because I get to show you guys the great news, and that is the forecast for tonight, the forecast for tomorrow, and of course that forecast into the work week ahead. Let's go ahead and track that out. So rain chances, they have cleared out. We're going to be left with maybe a sprinkle, but at least that significant rainfall that we've been getting overnight, not exactly playing a part in our forecast heading forward. What we're looking at in the extended forecast is that colder weather moving in this week. But if that's not cold enough for you, don't worry. Things get even colder in that extended forecast. We're going to be talking about temperatures a lot in this 6 o'clock broadcast because that is going to be the big story heading into the next couple of days. So thank you so much for joining us. What we're talking about, of course, temperatures, but we're also talking about that great forecast in the sky as well. As you see right here on the first 12, 7 p.m., 50 degrees. And as we work our way into those overnight hours, you can see how much we're dropping. Yes, back into the 30s for the start of our Sunday. So for those that have put the sweatshirts away and thought, that was a thing of the past. Well, now it's your future. Now it's your present, and you need to make sure to get those long sleeves out heading into those church services tomorrow, because I don't want you guys to be surprised. It is going to be much colder than where things have been, not just yesterday, but all week long this past week. Getting a live look there in Amory. A big thank you to the North Mississippi Storm Chasers for giving us that look out there. 52 degrees. Dew point currently in the mid-40s. This time yesterday, it's in the mid-60s. So things have definitely trended back and much calmer. Still a little bit of that cloud cover there in Monroe County, but things are trending in the drier direction, and that means some clearer skies out west. Cleveland, 52 degrees right now, and a big reason why things are so clear and so calm tonight, those winds coming out of the northwest about 10 miles an hour. That high pressure center settling in, and we'll view that here in a moment on surface analysis, but nonetheless, a great looking sight out there in Cleveland. You can see American flag blowing there in the distance. Just a good looking sight for sure for the Saturday night. Winona as well, 54 degrees. Those winds still about 8 miles an hour, and that sun still setting, but you're getting a look at some of that clearing already taking place. So right now, it's still partly cloudy conditions, but tomorrow, we're talking about plenty of sunshine. So temperature wise right now, still a little bit more mild down south with 56 in Macon, 53 Kosciuszko, and 54 Belzona and Greenwood. But as we work our way north, we're seeing 49 Houston, Tupelo, and Bruce, 46 Senatobia, Tunica, Oxford, and 48 Corinth, Boonville, and Iuka. So those temperatures much different than where things sat this time yesterday. Like I mentioned a moment ago, we're seeing a 12 to, I think the highest is 17 degree difference. And yes, that is in the colder direction as we get into the forecast tonight. So like I said, I don't want you guys to be surprised. Heading out tomorrow morning, it is going to be noticeably colder than where things have been the past couple of days. And of course, that starts with our our Mama Justice Doppler radar. As you can see with those dry conditions overhead, a few sprinkles not impossible in northwest Alabama, but a large part of that moisture still moving its way east up into the Atlantic coast. We'll see that right here on surface analysis. Let me go ahead and expand things out and we can get a better visual on this. So there's your front. That was our headache. That was our Friday forecast. I brought some of those stronger storms down south. But now, all of that pushing up the East Coast. High pressure settling into the area. And whenever we see the high pressure positioned this far to our west, that's honestly telling me that there's a dominant northerly wind that's moving into the area. And as you can see, producing some snowfall up in Minneapolis and Omaha. But down here in Mississippi, it's primarily going to be that colder air as that ridging pattern moves overhead. So a much calmer forecast, but a much colder forecast as we get into that extended pattern. So let's go ahead and look at futurecasts. And as you can see, with those dry conditions overhead, just continues to clear out into those overnight hours. Bringing it back in here to the Twin States, you can see that clearing already taking place by 10 p.m. And as we get into the start of our Sunday morning heading out the door should be a beautiful sunrise across North Mississippi. So if you don't have plans to wake up early, I think it'll be worth your while to at least get some shots of this beautiful sunrise that's taking place. So excited about that. Excited to have sunshine back in the forecast. And if your ground is still pretty soggy, should dry up with those winds as well as those sunny skies as we get into our Sunday. So as we carry that into that mid-morning hour, still seeing those clear skies stick around, but those clear skies not going to go anywhere. All day long, clear skies, sunshine, and of course carries over into those nighttime hours as well. Temperature-wise, we're only topping out around the mid to upper 40s, so much colder even by the afternoon, but this is just making way to a much colder pattern heading into next week. That's one of the things we're going to be talking about here in the next 60 here in the Room to Room Weather Center is going to be that temperature forecast. We're also talking about that next weather maker. Limited, but there is still a chance heading into parts of next week. And of course, that extended pattern. Been a minute since we've been able to do this with that severe weather threat that we were dealing with at the end of last week. We're going to be talking about how things are shifting into the extended pattern here on Mississippi Live Weather at 6. So stick with us in the next 60. We'll discuss all of that and more.
At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
Out with the old and in with the new. It's time to save big at Room to Room's New Year's sale. Store-wide markdowns 50 to 70% off. No tax. 48-month special financing. It's a new year at Room to Room Furniture in Tupelo. There's no place like home.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
A beautiful night in Tupelo tonight as we get a look at our North Mississippi Storm Chaser camera in Tupelo, brought to you by Mitchell Cunningham and Bowling. Just a good-looking sky and a much calmer sky as well. 48 degrees, dew point in the low 40s, so no moisture in this forecast. No, it is going to be a much drier and calmer pattern as we get into tonight and really into our Sunday. Batesville lining up with that as well. I love getting this shot out west because you still get a little hint of that sunshine. And of course, that setting on the horizon, so not much more of it left, but shows you that clearing that's already taken place. And that little bit of cloud cover that's in the forecast, not going to be as damaging as what we've got the past couple of days. Damaging, not really the word to use there, but covering our skies the past couple of days. 46 degrees dew point, upper 30s. So room to cool off as we head into those overnight hours. And a big thank you to our northwesterly wind for providing that cooler and drier forecast. Caledonia giving you a good look as well. Just still some clouds up there in the sky, but breezy conditions about 16 miles an hour. Again, out of the west-northwest. Those feels like values still right around 52 degrees. So I do expect some wind chill to be factoring into our forecast tomorrow morning, but still I think it's pretty bearable and definitely around our normal for this time of year. Like we've been talking about all week long, it's been a very mild and warm forecast, finally starting to take a step back and head back to our winter season. Temperatures right now, 46 degrees Senatobia, Tunica, South Haven, 47 Water Valley and Holly Springs, and 49 being seen right here in Tupelo like we just saw. 56 Macon and 57 in Aliceville does tell me it's still a warmer evening down there towards northwest Alabama and the southeast part of our viewing area. But those temperatures already starting to fall. You see that clear and defined line of colder air already starting to move in. This is as that frontal boundary starts to push out there towards the Atlantic coast and leaves us with this cold air back behind it. If we look at that temperature change, yeah, you don't need the temperatures to show you where that front is. The temperature change tells you the exact story as we're seeing a 13 to 14 degree temperature difference here in North Mississippi. And of course out east, still hasn't shifted just yet. But as we work our way into our Sunday forecast, that front even dropping temperatures for people out there. So it's going to be a good looking forecast for the next couple of days. And our Mom Adjusted Doppler radar reiterating that once again. If we look at our national radar, of course, all of that moisture still out east lining up with that front, but bringing it back in here to North Mississippi, you can see that it's not going to be too much of anything. Our alerts that we saw, or not alerts, I apologize for that, our storm reports, still a lot of wind damage down south. We were talking about those primary threats being down south. Continue to verify that for those Friday night and Saturday morning hours. So those wind damage reports extending into Montgomery and up there towards Atlanta. So we're looking pretty good here in North Mississippi. Very grateful that this wasn't any worse and it lined up really well with where we expected that primary threat to be. And so we hope you guys do stay safe. We hope if you do have any loved ones down there that they stayed safe as well. But we're just grateful that it wasn't any worse up here in North Mississippi. We can handle some showers. We can handle some rumbles of thunder, but it's whenever the severe weather threat moves in that we need to take a little bit more seriously. So grateful it wasn't any worse than what it was. And of course, looking here in North Mississippi, again, no reports to report so far. A few limbs down here and there, even at our chief meteorologist, Matt Laupon's house, but also another report that I'll work to get into the 10 o'clock broadcast. But just, again, a few limbs down, but that's really the extent of the damage that we saw. And of course, looking on our radar right now, nothing to note. So we're in a very calm pattern. So any pickup of that damage that needs to be done down south, I think they're going to be enjoying the forecast from here on out. So tonight, it's Saturday night. It's a good forecast. All the more reason you need to get out and about. And if you're going out for maybe a late night dinner, just going out on the town, it's going to be 47 degrees by 8, 45 by 9, and then 43 degrees by 10. You can see that cloud cover gradually receding overnight, and we're going to be enjoying clear skies for our Saturday night and for our Sunday morning. Of course, Futurecast highlighting this in a little bit more detail. You can see those northwesterly winds driving out that moisture here in North Mississippi, that moisture being rainfall and cloud cover, and leaving us with those clear skies into our 10 o'clock hour. So as we wrap up those Saturday night plans, head back to the house. I think we're going to be going to bed with a pretty good forecast. Just don't forget to turn the heat on tonight. I want to reiterate that for folks that may have enjoyed the AC the past couple of days or may have enjoyed putting the windows up. Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and turn that heat back on. We did at the Manor House today in preparation of this forecast for tonight. So as we work our way into those early morning hours of our Sunday, northwesterly winds still cycling in, but plenty of sunshine going to be on tap, and I am definitely excited about that forecast. This is what I'm mentioning. Heat needs to be on because look at low temperatures for your Sunday morning. 35 degrees Tupelo, Boonville, and Houston. 34 Grenada, 35 Clarksdale, Greenwood, and 37 Belzona and Cleveland. It's going to be cold. It's been a while since we could say that, but it is going to be cold for our Sunday morning. Wind chill, of course, knocking those back a few degrees as well. Not an impossibility, but we want you guys to stay safe and, of course, stay warm. Our Futurecast throughout our Sunday, I almost didn't even want to include it because it's going to be that beautiful of a day. Nothing of note on our Futurecast. It's just going to be a dry day through and through, so any plans you may have for your Sunday lunch plans after church or your Sunday afternoon plans, I think we're shaping up to be in some pretty good conditions. And even into those evening hours, not really going to shift that forecast. We're staying dry, we're staying clear, we're staying breezy, we're staying cool all day long for your Sunday. Looking at those high temperatures, topping out around the mid to upper 40s with 49 Macon, Louisville, and Columbus, 51 Kosciuszko, 48 Greenville, 46 Clarksdale and Cleveland, and 46 around Oxford and Tupelo. So temperatures, they do warm up through the day, but these high temperatures on Sunday were our low temperatures today. Wrap your mind around that. Yeah, it's going to be a complete shift of the forecast. Again, winter is going to finally feel like winter. So as we work our way into our Sunday night, you can see how those dry conditions do prevail once again, not tracking any cloud cover either. This is as that high pressure system reigns supreme right over the top of North Mississippi. So I'm going to drag it out. And of course, you see that high pressure center is positioned to our west. Whenever that happens, you get this northerly wind cycling into North Mississippi. And whenever that high pressure center is a little bit further away, those winds are a bit breezy as well. So that's why we're still seeing 10 to 15 mile an hour sustained winds into our Sunday night and our Monday morning. And as that high pressure and that ridging pattern still remains in the area and still remains out to our west, that means it's another cold forecast for our Monday morning. Taking a look at those low temperatures, bringing it back in here to North Mississippi, it's going to be even colder than our Sunday morning. We're talking 26 New Albany, Boonville, Tupelo, even down around Amory, 26 Red Bay, and 25 Vernon, Alabama, 25 Grenada, 26 Macon, 30 in Greenville. That's our warmest temperature for the start of our Monday. And whenever we're talking about 30 degrees being the warmest temperature, you know how cold it's going to be. So below freezing start to our Monday, and that school day forecast, of course, going to be a cold one as well. As we keep it going into our Monday forecast, though, I think we're going to be looking in good shape in the skies. No rainfall going to be in that forecast, going to be dry all day long with those clear conditions as well. So shaping up to be another good day. I was writing earlier on in our article just basically saying this is the day you need to get out and about, because it's going to be that beautiful of a sky. Afternoon temperatures trend just slightly warmer. So I think we need to make some plans to get out there and enjoy it, head to the park, or just do whatever you want to do, as long as it's outside. And that carries over into our Monday night and our Tuesday morning. So we're keeping those dry and clear conditions once again as we head into the rest of our work week. High temperatures on your Monday. I mentioned a few degrees warmer. We're talking 50 in Tupelo, New Albany, and Oxford, 51 Grenada, Water Valley, and Bruce, 49 Cleveland and Clarksdale. We're seeing 53 Kosciuszko, 50 right around Macon, 51 in Louisville. Our normal 53 degrees. We're not far away from that margin. So these temperatures, they are much colder, but they're actually right where we'd expect to be for this time of year. So don't be surprised by that. Just be grateful. Winter is finally starting to feel like winter. But as we work our way over the extended pattern, this is giving a hint to what we're going to be talking about in the next part of your show. But those high temperatures trending back, 46 on Sunday, 50 on Monday, we really sit around that same range all week long, even heading into our weekend next weekend. But low temperatures, take a look at this. Just how much we're going to be cooling off into the next several days. We're going to be in the 20s more than we'll be in the 30s and more than we'll be in the 40s or 50s. Yeah, 20s are going to be our consistent forecast. So layer up. It's going to be a cold one this week, and it's always a story in North Mississippi, right? So no surprise that it's going to be severe weather transitioning to some cold weather. Those cold temperatures stick around all week long. Limited chance of some showers here and there for your Wednesday and for your Saturday. But of course, we'll keep eyes on that behind the scenes, but not expecting anything too significant. I think the real story this week is going to be those cold temperatures. So coming up here in the next 60, what are we going to be discussing? Well, we'll break down that forecast for the cold air expected heading into this week. But we're going to be talking about that extended forecast and talking about the cold weather. How cold are we talking? We're talking about the next week. We're also talking about the next month and the next couple of months. That, as we take a look at that extended forecast live here from the Room to Room Weather Center in the next 60.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
As we move into storm season, here's something most homeowners don't realize after a storm. Roof damage isn't always obvious. Wind can lift shingles, breaking the seal. Hail can bruise them below, and flashing around chimneys and pipes can loosen without you ever knowing. That damage may not show up for months. If your area has strong wind or hail, a professional inspection will help bring you clarity before small damage turns into bigger problems.
Well, as our friends at Absolute were talking about roof damage, wind damage, and of course staying safe during severe weather. Of course, if you do have any roof damage due to the storms from yesterday, we do recommend contacting them for getting that repaired and getting back in order. But here in North Mississippi, I think that we were definitely on the optimistic side, and we stayed on that good side of things in regards to last night's forecast. The worst of it was further towards our south, and so our friends down there in South Mississippi continue to pray for them, but grateful that everyone came out of it okay, no injuries, no deaths. That's always what we want whenever we're talking about severe weather. But now we transition to a whole other topic. It's going to be those cold temperatures as we head through this week, or should I say our average temperatures. Yes, winter, finally starting to feel like winter, but getting into the following week. And yes, we're talking January 16th through January 20th. Look at the drop that we're going to be expecting to see. As you can see on the legend on the top of our screen, we have that center area that should be more of that gray, and the red and orange, that's going to be on the warmer side of things. The blue, the purple, that's going to be on the colder side of things, so below our average. So our average low temperature going to be in the low 30s. This is showing a downward trend, a pretty significant one, as well as we're nearly halfway onto that cooler side of things. And some temperatures, not an impossibility. If things continue to verify, we could be talking about some upper teens by the time we get into that same time frame, January 16th through January 20th. But in typical Mississippi fashion, it does not last long. Already starting to get some of that warmer air moving back into the area by the time we get into that January 18th through 24th time frame. So enjoy the cold air. Again, it doesn't last forever. We're in Mississippi and things are always changing, but it's nice to see that winter will finally feel like winter. I want it to be cold for this time of year, and I'm glad that that's finally starting to be the case. Next 30 days showcase some above average conditions as well for those temperatures, and continuing that into the next 3 months at average or slightly above average, so it's not going to be much change in that forecast. We just get a 2-week spell of some colder air before those warmer temperatures, again, trying to move back into the area. But as we look at our precipitation outlook, with the cold temperatures comes drier air. So that same time frame that we're seeing some colder air move into North Mississippi, our precipitation outlook is on the drier side of things. So for those wanting snow in the chat, seeing this on the extended pattern doesn't exactly line up well. We need that precipitation to be a little bit above average and those temperatures to not be as cold, because if they're as cold as we expect them to be, that means there's a lot of dry air that's in place as well. So not looking the best, and as we work our way into that January 18th through 24th time frame, going to be getting a little bit more of those showers developing, but still on the drier side of things whenever we're comparing this to our normal 30-year average. And as we take it over the next 30 days, as average as you can be here in North Mississippi, and carrying that over into the next 3 months with a little bit of those above average conditions, but that's going to be working into our spring season. Yeah, next 3 months, where does that put us at? March 10th? Or no, I guess that would be April 10th. So yeah, well into the spring season, but of course we will we'll be monitoring that as we get further into the forecast. But this is just that extended time frame that I was telling you guys we'd be discussing. Needless to say, what you need to know right now, it's just going to be a cold forecast from here on out. Looking at our day planner, 47 degrees by 8 p.m., 43 by 10, and we're falling off back into the 30s as we get into those overnight hours. So layer up, go ahead and have ways of staying warm. And I see Jade was talking in the chat that she's down at the beach. Hey, that's one way to stay warm. It's just go south. So, Jade, I hope you're enjoying that trip. And if you do have any pictures of some sunsets down there, I am a sucker for a beach sunset, and that'll easily be in our show coming up tonight or whenever you want to send it. Caleb will be back tomorrow, and I'm sure he'd love to see a beach sunset photo. So just putting that out there. And for anyone here in North Mississippi sunsets are unmatched too. Go ahead and send those to us here on Mississippi Live Weather. You can do so on our Mississippi Live Weather app. Of course, that is free to download today on iOS and Android. Go ahead and scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen right here. And you can also tune in msliveweather.com, and you can tune in for the latest on that forecast, whether it's temperatures or rainfall. But next week is probably going to be temperatures more than anything. Our next broadcast is going to be tonight at 10 o'clock. Cannot wait to see you guys there, tracking a calmer pattern. Jade said that she will try and get a post tomorrow. So we'll for sure try to work that into the forecast, Jade. So let us know when that's submitted, and I'll let Caleb know that he needs to get that in the show. But yes, our next broadcast tonight at 10. Whatever pictures you guys have, send them to us on Mississippi Live Weather. We'll work those into the show. But we're also going to be talking about that cold pattern moving forward. We appreciate you guys watching and staying tuned in. We'll keep you guys updated live from the Room to Room Weather Center for the rest of your Saturday night, tonight at 10.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy